Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Olivia. I am a stay-at-home and homeschool mom to 3. And in today's video, it's going to be a little different. I've never done this before, and I just thought it would be fun. And I'm definitely the type of person that I'm a very opinionated person, but I also don't like confrontation or anything like that. So I tend to shy away from actually sharing my opinion majority of the time. So this video is going to be what I'm going to call an opinion piece video. And nothing too crazy, just my views, my thoughts and opinion on youth sports and how parents treat it. And so if you're interested or even care to hear my thoughts, my opinion on the subject, then please stick around for the rest of this video. So to get into it, I did take a ton of notes. A few nights ago, I sat in bed just really thinking about my thoughts on everything. And I definitely have 2 perspectives that I'm coming from that I wanted to share. Things that are just my opinion for our family, mine and my husband's opinion for our family, standards we've set for our family. And if you don't agree with me, that is totally fine. I don't expect people to have the same standards and goals for their family as we do. And so it's totally fine. It doesn't make me right and you wrong, or you right and me wrong. This is just my thoughts on the topic. And so that's all I'm here to share. So please, if you don't agree with me, it is totally fine and cool. Like, we all have different opinions, and that's great. So my family is a huge sports family. We always have been. I was raised playing basketball from the time I was 7. My 2 sisters played basketball. My brother played basketball. My brother played baseball from the time he was 4 all the way up. My dad was a very well-known high school basketball player around the Atlanta area. And he went on to play college basketball. And then after college, he had an invite to try out for the Atlanta Hawks. Unfortunately, he ended up tearing his Achilles tendon and never got to the tryout, but that's okay because God had other plans, being that my dad has been a pastor since then, basically, and is still pastoring today, pastor my entire childhood. So God had other plans, but all that to say, sports, basketball specifically, runs very deep in my family genes. And then on my husband's side of it, soccer runs very deep in his genes. And so I come from one perspective of being an athlete my entire life and being obsessed with sports. I was not a brainiac in high school ever. Sports was my thing. That is what I gravitated towards. That's what God blessed me with, the talents of having an athletic ability. It is what I found my confidence in, even to this day. Even as a almost 37-year-old woman who has not played athletics since I graduated high school, still I find my confidence in sports somehow. You know, I have a combined 6 years of coaching middle school and high school basketball, as well as 2 years of coaching middle school softball. I now have 3 kids that have all been in sports. They are 7 years old, 10 years old, and 12 years old. We've been through soccer, baseball, and basketball, and now we're in karate. And so now I have a new perspective as a parent. And I have to say that has probably changed my perspective a little bit. I wouldn't say a ton, but it's definitely given me a new perspective and has added to my insight of athletics. And so that is what I'm mostly going to be talking about in this video. But I know that sports enthusiasts might initially come at me and say, you don't really know what you're talking about. Maybe not. But I'm just throwing in there that I have been an athlete my whole life, a very successful one at that. And I went on to be offered 2 basketball scholarships to college, and neither of which I accepted because I was a bonehead and I was a homebody and a daddy's girl, and I was not leaving home. So I turned both of those offers down, which, you know, only a few years later was I absolutely kicking myself for that stupidity of not accepting either one of those scholarships. But, you know, now I'm 37, so it's well behind us. It doesn't even matter anymore. So I do come with experience on the athlete side. And, you know, even though sports has always, it's about being competitive. Now as a parent on the other side, I find myself having a very different opinion as far as my own children being involved in sports. Like I said, my parents, they've been pastors my entire life, and my parents they still are amazing parents, but they were such amazing parents in that they always put church and the Lord first before anything, even as fanatical as my dad could be about sports. Now, if you came to my house growing up, our TV was always on sports. You either saw the Atlanta Braves playing, or you saw some form of Florida Gator sport on our TV, whether it was football, basketball, baseball, whatever. It was on our TV all the time. And not much has changed. My dad's TV is still like that. He always has sports on, no matter what sport. My husband is not that into sports. He is a diehard Atlanta Braves fan, but aside from that, he really doesn't give 2 cents about sports. However, I am very, very different. I love watching sports. I'm still very much a massive Florida Gator fan, and it doesn't matter what Florida Gator sport it is. If it's on TV, it will be on my TV screen. We have ESPN Plus, which is my favorite thing ever to have, because there is all sports all day long. Any of it you can find is on ESPN Plus. And so I always have on the Florida Gators girls softball, their girls basketball, their football, their gymnastics. If track and field is on, I'm going to have it on. They have a phenomenal tennis program. I like watching tennis, and so it's on. In fact, next weekend, Florida Gators softball is playing here in Southern California in Fullerton, and I bought me and my daughter tickets to a doubleheader that they're in next weekend. And so we're going to see the Gators play right here in Southern California next weekend. What's up, girl? You're the best, thank you. You don't want it?
No. It tastes good.
Thank you.
Macy, come here.
Go, Mace. Thank you. I'm the weirdo that loves the stick from Fun Dip, and my kids don't. They just eat the sugar and they bring me the stick. Yeah, so we're going to see the Florida Gators play softball next weekend, and I'm very excited about it. Anyway, so sports is huge in my life. It always has been. But my parents, you know, never put it above the Lord. And one of the things that we never got to do as kids, which was fine, we didn't really care, was my parents never put us in club sports because games were always on Sunday, and we were never going to miss church to play sports. That was just it. And so that is also the standard that me and all of my siblings have carried now into adulthood, and as parents with our own children, it is our job to teach them that nothing comes above the church and the Lord, and not even sports. And I think I can confidently say that for my sisters and my brother and I, sports is a huge part of our life, and it's something that we love to see our kids also participate in. And so it really is a huge thing for us to teach our kids that something we love so much is still less, doesn't even come close to the importance of church and our King Jesus. Like, that is top priority no matter what. And you know, I've people who we've been around whose kids are in club, and you know, I'm not judgmental of what they want to do with their families. You know, that's their family. They get to decide how they want to raise their family. You know, we've heard so many times of, you know, it's just a short season, you know, club season is just a few months. It's just a few months of not being at church every Sunday. And, you know, my thought on that is it's just teaching our kids that, it's just for this short while, you know, so we can put this above the Lord a little bit. And I know a lot of people think that's pretty dramatic, but it's really not in the scheme of things. Our children are watching us, and as they grow, we are the ones that are helping them develop habits and priorities and everything like that. And this is the start of teaching them how we form all of those things to be pleasing to our King Jesus, and to better his kingdom and be a part of the church, is by being there and being invested and making that the priority. So then on to my next perspective as a parent. Let's see, Zachariah is 12 years old now, and he has been playing sports since he was, gosh, I think he was 6. The first year that we put him in a sport, he played soccer. His first 2 years of playing sports, we put him in soccer. My kids are all very different. My boys are hilarious. Zachariah has no passion for sports whatsoever. He is a big personality. He's a talker. He's social, like crazy social. And even though he is a very decent baseball player, he doesn't have a competitive bone in his body. Like, I play sports. I want to be the best one out there. If someone's better than me, I'm going to figure out how to do it better. Like, even now. And nobody cares. Nobody cares how I play sports. I'm 37 years old. Like, but it's just in me. And him doesn't care less. He couldn't care less if he was the best athlete, you know. I love that about him. We are so different in that way. And I just admire that about him, because he wants to go make friends, you know. And so we did a few years of soccer. I actually think he played 3 seasons of soccer. He's not a runner. He didn't like, he did okay his first year because he was only like 5 or 6. And then he decided, I hate running. Why am I playing soccer? I don't want to play soccer anymore. And so we took him out of soccer, and which was fine with me because I'm not a soccer player. And, you know, it was just, you know, whatever. And so we decided to put him in baseball. And his first year he was in coach pitch baseball. You know, he's little. I think he was 7 his first year playing baseball, maybe 6. And he liked it. He liked it a lot, and he's played ever since then. But the things that I started noticing with him is because he is social, he's very talkative, he is a busybody, so he's kind of all over the place. Coaches treated him very, very differently, especially the older he got. You know, now he's in the 6th grade, and we're in February right now. We've just started spring baseball, and he decided he doesn't want to play anymore. And I can't say that I blame him because the older he's gotten, the more competitive his age group has gotten. Therefore, the more competitive his coaches have gotten. And Little League Baseball has changed a lot. It's changed in the aspect of it's gotten smaller because, you know, you have club baseball, you have pony baseball. A lot of kids are leaving Little League and going to these other leagues. And so Little League has lost a lot of athletes. And then on top of that, Little League is crazy. If you have never put your kids in baseball, it is absolutely insane how much they practice and play and all the things. Like, we just started last week. My daughter's my only one playing spring softball. She has 3 practices a week. And it's crazy to me because I feel like they treat it like you're in high school already. And she's 10 years old. My 7-year-old, who's not playing, but he usually does play, even at 7 in coach pitch, they still have 3 practices a week. And so right now we have softball Monday, Thursdays, and Saturday practices until games start. And on top of that, majority of the time it's a 2-hour time slot. And I think right now this is the first coach I've ever had that we currently have who is the only coach we've had who does not go over his practice time. So Zachariah, my oldest, every single coach he has had goes 30 minutes over practice time. And I'm just thinking, like, when do you people spend time with your families? Like, I'm here 3 nights a week for 1 kid. So when I have all 3 playing, we're at the field every single night. And then you're going over your practice times by half an hour. Most of these parents have come straight from work. Most of the coaches come straight from work to practice. You know, we have practice from 7 to 9 o'clock. We're getting home 9:45 when you've gone a half hour over. Like, where is your family time during the weekdays? And it just blows my mind because we're very selfish with our family times. I don't like giving up my Fridays. My husband doesn't work Fridays. He's never worked Fridays. He doesn't work on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but like, we're homeschooled, so we are home Fridays. So when there are things scheduled on Fridays, like baseball practice, I get very aggravated because I'm like, no, Fridays is our family day. That's when we do stuff. But then you also want to teach your kids that when you commit to something, you commit to something. But then we also want to teach them that sports is not going to run our lives, you know. Just because we're in a season and we have practices and games, if there's something we want to do as a family, we're going to do it. We're not going to stop doing family stuff because we have baseball practice, so we can't miss. So I think there's a good balance there for sure. Like, there has to be a balance because we're teaching them commitment and family time. And with family time comes commitment as well. So I'm so sorry if my thoughts are all scrambled about. But Anyway, so baseball's crazy though. If you've never put your kids in it, I love it and I continue to put him in it. So, but I have to say I was very relieved. Both my boys told me they didn't want to play spring ball. And I've told a few people that and they're like, oh, it's too bad. And, you know, I feel so sad for them. And I'm like, I don't. Like, you know, if they loved it and they want to play, absolutely, I will encourage them to play and let them play. But if they're not, you know, crazy about it and love it, and they're just, you know, Zachariah sometimes will say, I just want to play because I want to see, he has two friends, Micah and Jace, that he went to school with when he was in school. And now that he's not, now that we're homeschooled, he doesn't get to see them. So baseball season is when he gets to see them regularly. And that was his motivation for playing. So I was like, if it's, you know, if you don't love baseball and it's just because you want to see Jace and Micah, then, you know, maybe not the best reason to not enjoy playing. You're just sucking it up and playing because you want to see them, you know. Then we should probably find something else that you love to do. So it's just, sports is crazy. And, but you know, back to Zachariah just getting in this age where it just becomes more competitive. He made the All-Star team for Little League 2 seasons ago. He's a lefty, and he's not the best at baseball, but he's very good. Like, he does, if he had a passion for baseball, he'd be phenomenal. He's a very good hitter, and he can catch, which at their age, you know, you got to catch the ball, right? But he is an extremely good third baseman and second baseman. He's so good at it. But because of his busy, talkative, social personality, and, you know, when they're doing drills, he's trying to make buddy-buddy with the kid next to him. But because he's there to make friends and be a social butterfly, his coaches don't really give him a chance, you know. I think they can sometimes get aggravated by his busy personality, and a little bit of me can understand. Like I said, I've coached high school and middle school sports, so I get it. You want the kids to focus and pay attention. At the same time, I also worked in an elementary school with kids, young kids, and I also have the understanding that each kid is different. You cannot treat every kid the same. And you have to learn how to work with the different personalities. And so I try to show grace with coaches who are volunteering their time. But it's also can be very hard when you know your kid deserves something, not just him, but even other kids you see out there who deserve something, but because of a personality clash with the coach can overlook that, and majority of the time Zachariah would get thrown out in right field, and he would be discouraged about it because he's a busybody. So to him, being thrown in outfield is the worst thing you can do to a kid who needs to stay busy because nothing happens in the outfield at their age, or it's very rare. And so it just kind of killed the game for him. He started losing interest in being able to really enjoy it because he just kind of got treated unfairly because of his personality. And I have found that the older he gets, every coach he has is wanting, you know, who can I send to All-Stars? And that's the other thing about Little League. It has become all about All-Stars. Who's going to make the All-Star team? What kids from our team are we going to get on All-Stars? And if you're not that kid, then you kind of get pushed to the side a little bit. And trust me, I am not coming from that parent that is just taking the side of my kid, because then I have my daughter, Brooke, who is the opposite. She's a very competitive. She will not be outdone by anybody, and almost to a fault where I actually have to have talks with her about, like, it's okay that you're not the best. You can't get frustrated about it. You will not always be the best, if ever be the best, you know, like, we can't all be Michael Jordan. And so I have Zachariah's side of it, where I've seen him get pushed to the side because of his big personality, and people can look at me and say, you're just his mom and you're being biased and all the stuff. But then I have Brooke, who the coaches love because she's very good. She's very competitive. She's very focused. And she's on the other side of the spectrum where the coaches give her all of the attention. And I don't need my kids to have all of the attention. I just want someone to teach them how to play a sport. And as, like, coming from the coach side of me, it is my greatest thrill to teach basketball to girls who don't know how to play, or to help them to get better. It's so fun to watch kids get better. Like, from the start of the season, you're taking a kid that, trust me, I have had, even on middle school teams, kids who come into play and they don't even know that there is an out of bounds line in basketball. And to teach them that, and just to see them improve and get better, is my favorite part. I love it. I love coaching the little fundamentals of basketball to kids. And that's all I want people to do for my kid. I want to be able to put them in sports, and I'm not putting them in there to become the next big athlete. Like, the chances of my kid even getting a scholarship for college is so slim. And I actually have the statistics, and I'll go over them in just a little bit. Yeah. But when I put my kids into recreational sports, all I want is for them to do something social. First off, that's the first thing, is this is a social activity for them to participate in. But I want them to learn about a sport that they could potentially fall in love with. I just want someone to teach them how to play and give them the opportunity to get better, and encourage them in getting better, and make them excited about the sport. That's why I put my kids in sports, and in the hope that they will fall in love with the sport. Because I do want my kids to love sports, even if it's just one. You know, that's what it is. Sports to me is about. It's about, right now, it's a socializing opportunity for them. It teaches them character. It teaches them teamwork. It teaches them hard work. It teaches them how to have a passion about something and really work towards goals. Like, there's so many positives to sports. And that is what I love about it and what I want for my kids. Now, I always thought I would be that crazy, competitive, obnoxious parent on the sideline. And my husband would probably say that I am, because he's not competitive at all. He sits there very quietly, could care less what's going on in the game. He's just entertained by his own child. And I am very much coach my kid a lot. Well, my kids. I try to lay off with my boys because I never want to, like, make them feel embarrassed by their mom. But I do coach them a lot, but I will never be awful to a coach. I will never be rude to another parent or another child. Like, it's just crazy. I am not there to make sure my kid is the best. I will not hire a pitching coach for my child and then insist my pitching coach come to the games and stand at the fence and coach them as they're pitching. Like, that's just crazy to me. And it is crazy that it actually happens at a 9 and 10-year-old game, that their child's pitching coach is standing up at the fence over the Little League coach and instructing their child how to pitch a ball. It's crazy. So, anyway, my thoughts are all out of whack and out of order, but, the ultimate goal is for my kids to play sports, love sports, but know that, sports comes nowhere close to, the church and Christ Jesus. And, you know, I had actually in the fall, Zachariah had an amazing coach. I loved him. He's the best coach we've had. He had such patience with Zachariah. With all the boys, like, he didn't care about winning or losing. He knew baseball. And he gave every kid the chance to play any position they wanted to, even if they were terrible at it. He wanted them to have the chance to play there, but not just throw them there, but he actually taught them how to play that position. And at Zachariah's team party at the end of the season, I was talking to his coach and telling him just how much I had appreciated the way he was with Zachariah and his patience and his encouragement and everything like that. And asked him if he was going to be back in the spring because I wanted him as Zachariah's coach. And he said no, he was leaving to coach a pony team with his boys because he was just not very thrilled with the way the league was going. And so he told me, if Zachariah wants to come try out for my pony team though, I will get you the schedule for the tryout dates. And he said, but he said, just so you know, they do double headers on Sundays. And I said, oh, that won't work for us then. But like, thank you so much. I appreciate it, you know. And so I had told Zachariah he won't be back. He's doing pony, but you know, you can't do pony. It's just, it's on Sundays. We don't miss church for sports. And of course he was cool with that because he doesn't care. But it's so important. It's so important, whether you agree with me or not, just to teach our kids that church is the priority over everything. And I know so many people, especially stemming from 2020 with COVID, so many people got used to being home and watching Sunday services online. Some still continue to do so, and that's cool. And I've heard so many people, even on YouTube, other homeschool moms on YouTube saying that they always watch their services online and how they don't feel, you know, they're still getting God's word. I'm still getting the word. I'm still getting God's word for me. And so I don't find it necessary to be in the service. And that cannot be further from the truth, because God has called us to be a community, to commune with one another. And, you know, we definitely watched the service from home way longer than we should have during COVID. We'll be the first to admit we should have been back in church sooner, but that's okay. You live and you learn. Or you look back at 2020 and think, gosh, we were ridiculous, but who knew, you know? But it is so important to be in church with your church family. Church is not a selfish thing. We don't go to church, or you shouldn't go to church for you. Like I said, I've been a pastor's kid my entire life, and over have I heard people get upset or disappointed, or even just feeling like, well, that was a great service, but I didn't get anything out of it. Well, that's such a selfish mentality. People leave the church every day because they're not getting anything out of it. But what such a selfish mentality, especially when this life is not about us in the first place. Like I already said, church is not about me. Going to my church service is not about me. It's about God, glorifying Him, worshiping and praising Him with your church family together in communion with each other. That's what it's about. And so missing a Sunday here or there, sure, things happen. We go on vacations, we get sick, people have to work on Sundays. That's out of your control. Those things happen, absolutely, yes. But those things that we can control, you know, we want our kids to know it is important to be in church on Sundays with your church family and praising God with them together. And so sports does not ever overrule that. And no matter how much I love it, I will come home from church on Sundays and I will put Formula One on, or the Atlanta Braves. We'll watch it when we don't have church going on. We will play when we don't have church going on. And so that's my whole spiel in this video. If you don't agree, that is totally fine. You do what the Lord has convicted you of, or what He, you know, you feel that He is okay with. And that is a conviction for our family on sports and how we want to raise our children. But I do have just a couple statistics, because I do really feel like there is like this huge ultimate goal for many people, not all, but for many people is, you know, yes, it is important. If your kid wants that scholarship, will work for it, try to get it. Yes, I don't think that you should ever be discouraging of that. However, if it's being ran by the parent and it's the parent's idea, I'll just leave you with this. Fewer than 2% of high school athletes get an athletic scholarship. Most of the time, between 20 to 50% of athletes on NCAA teams are made up of walk-ons. So 20 to 50% of athletes don't even get scholarships. They walk on to teams. 46% walk on a Division I school. 39% of athletes excuse me, walk on to a Division II team. Fewer than 2% of NCAA athletes go on to play on a pro team. Those are crazy low percentages. And I think a lot of times parents who are push, or I got to get my kid this, I got to get them that, I got to get them the best pair of Nike cleats or the best lessons, or, you know, whatever, to each their own. But just remember that, you know, you're pushing your kid towards something that has a very low success rate. And I want to push my kid towards a 100% success rate of, for them. If they are in church and they're glorifying God and they're building their relationship with the Lord, then they are going to spend their eternity with Christ. Like, that's huge. If I can teach them, if me and my husband together can teach our kids a love and a passion for the Lord, they will spend eternity with Christ. You know, they're not going to spend eternity playing sports. My sports career ended when I was 18 years old, you know, but I'm going to spend eternity with Christ. And I want my kids to know that that is the focus, that is the ultimate goal, and that is bigger than anything. Anyway, obviously I get emotional about thinking about my kids' eternity and their salvation. But I hope this video was okay. I know it's long, It is 100% an opinion video, and fully based off of mine and my husband's convictions on how we want to raise our children. Obviously, you don't have to do what we do, but it is an encouragement to really think about the importance of family, your children's lives, where you want them to end up one day. I could care less if my kid is a college athlete or a professional athlete, even though I dreamed of being one when I was a kid. Like, my life has turned out fantastic. And that's only because I have Christ Jesus in my life. And that's what I want for my kids, for my grandkids, for generations and generations to come, for our family. Because that's the most important thing. Is that they know Christ and they follow him all the days of their life. Anyway. Anyway, I hope you guys have such a blessed rest of your day, night, whenever you're watching this video. And feel free to comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I know it's so out of the ordinary. I kind of thought it would be cool to maybe do different opinion pieces. They don't all have to be so serious. An opinion, it could be something fun. I'm gonna think of some fun stuff to do that's just sitting here and getting to talk to the camera. But if you have any thoughts on this video, feel free to leave it down in the comment box. Don't forget to hit that like button, and please subscribe to my channel, and, you know, even share it if you're feeling extra kind today. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Olivia. If you
Is it just a battery saver? Hurry, stop!
So it's off. Low power mode.
She's still filming.
Ronan.
Yeah?
Don't knock the camera, dude. There you go.
Thank you. And it's gonna stay on.
Yeah, because
It's gonna stay on right now.
Yeah, because
It's not on camera. Yeah, turn the camera off.
I can edit it out.
It's going to stay on.